Hey everybody, and welcome to Let's Look at Strange Love's Vampire Boyfriends XOXO. That is a sentence that even as the syllables started coming out of my mouth, I never thought I would actually finish and put on the internet in my entire pseudo-career. Big air quotes there. But in any case, you know, there hasn't been a lot of major releases on Steam recently, or any releases at all for that matter. And during those times, I like to turn to Desura, the weirder but also very interesting distributor that oftentimes has games that are a little bit outside of the norm, but sometimes they're good. You know, that's where games like Bleed, Super Amazing Wagon Adventure, DLC Quest, stuff like that, that's where they got their start, kind of, at least on the PC. So I was browsing Desura, and I came across Strange Love's Vampire Boyfriends, and we're gonna kind of have Northernlion Story Hour here. I've played a little bit of this, I did a little bit on stream with Josh and Nick, but basically this is a choose-your-own-adventure style, romantic Harlequin novel, starring us as a young lady trying to find romance and direction in her young life, as she, you know, is kind of dealing with these vampire suitors, for lack of a better word. So this is going to be very much a non-traditional Let's Look At. This is available on Desura. I think it's $3. I can't remember, though. I did buy it like a week ago, because I just had to have it, man. Anyway, we're going to start here. And I'm not going to read over absolutely everything that we come across, because that is just going to get pretty goddamn tedious pretty quickly. But in the meantime, this is not going to be a hypercritical Let's Look At. It's going to be more like Northernlion story time. So settle in, grab a cup of coffee or something, and let my dulcet tones take you away. If you didn't catch on already, this is not a normal book. It's better. Much better, because fuck you, James Joyce and Tolstoy. Strange Love's Vampire Boyfriends is the new height of art. Because in a normal book, the only way you can participate in the story is by turning the page. But with the Strange Love's book, you get to choose your path through the story. Soon you'll be asked to put in your name, then you'll start the adventure of your life. Okay, so we're going to do that. We're going to choose a name, and we're going to type our name here. Why don't we go with... You know, I hate to be juvenile. Who am I kidding? I love to be juvenile. We're going to be buttfucker. It's going to make for some context-dependent jokes, I think, a little bit later as we get on. Like I said, I have read through the first chapter of this, and I use chapter loosely, almost as if I'm treating this as if it's a real work of fiction or something, when I don't necessarily think that it is. Not that it's nonfiction, obviously. But I'll be skipping over a lot of the text as I have seen it before. So let's get started. The moment you stepped foot on the campus of Mountain State College, nestled in the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Carolina, you knew you were meant to be there. Every walkway was tree-lined, the expanses of grass were green and lush, the stone buildings of the campus felt warm and inviting, much like something else we'll probably see a little bit later, and everyone was so friendly. With the golden sun warming your skin, you could imagine in-between class naps out on the lawn using your backpack as a pillow, hazing in and out of sleep as you watch the hippies in their handmade corduroy pants wrestling with their dogs, hotly debating your teachers and classmates about literary theory, sitting on large flat rocks, along bubbling brooks, eating cheese and drinking wine. Life would be good here. That sounds like the typical college experience, especially in undergrad. You know, sitting on flat rocks, beside bubbling brooks, drinking wine, not, you know, smashing beer cans off your head and just shotgunning beers like 12 hours a day on the weekend. You were not wrong. Your first 3 years at Mountain State College were exactly that. Distinct lack of class, I have to say. A beautiful breeze, even when the magical snowy winters arrived. Always early, always cold, harsh, and sometimes icy. You just bundled up, found a fireplace and a good book, or a cute boy, and enjoyed yourself. The place was positively enchanting. Sure, there were reports of strange happenings and weird disappearances, but you never witnessed anything too far out of the ordinary. You chalked it up to a superstitious student body and apparently a god-awful police force and just moved on. Yeah, you know what? Strange happenings, weird disappearances, some might even call that murder, but didn't bother me as long as I didn't get murdered. Anyway, I'm gonna turn to page 238 here. So here you stand at the first day of your senior year. You've been back for a few days, and finally all the boxes are unpacked in your first apartment on your own. You might miss the community of the dorms, the late-night snack runs, the unexpected friendships, but you definitely won't miss the noise and the cramped quarters. You look around your light-filled apartment and nod to yourself. You're excited to start fresh. This year is going to be the best yet. Tomorrow is the first day of classes, the last first day of school ever, assuming you just don't go to Masters immediately afterwards. You have a little flutter of excitement in your school, just like you always do before the first day of school. You love learning and interacting with your teachers and classmates. This year, as a senior, you're anxious to really delve into your major, finally, after 3 years of being undeclared and just kind of meandering around the campus. You're finally going to dedicate yourself, now that it's far too late to make a difference. Okay, so we have 3 choices of majors here. Well, 2 choices, really. One of them is theater. One of them is interdisciplinary studies, mixed martial arts, and Eastern philosophy. You've studied Krav Maga, judo, parkour, gymnastics, ballet, belly dance, baseball, and yoga. which to me is just like, it's like a choose-your-own-adventure novel version of school. I didn't know parkour. I could actually get like a bachelor's in that. Or we could just drop out of school, move to Chicago, and start writing your book. Now, if you've watched this stream, you've seen us do this one and this one, like the other two options, because those are by far the most interesting. Why don't we go to theater, though, instead, just because it'll offer me some surprises as well, and I won't just be going through the motions here. As a senior theater major, naturally you're gonna audition for the fall play. This year it's a good one. Dawn Breaks is the stage adaptation of the wildly popular vampire novel Dawn Breaks and Lives to Tell the Tale. You have your eye on the lead role of Ella Dawn, the ingenue turned deadly vampiress. Well, that is obviously totally original. By the way, I would love to go to a university that, as, you know, fourth-year theater majors, you know, Shakespeare played out. Arthur Miller, who needs that shit? We're gonna adapt a Stephenie Meyer vampire novel that already has a movie wildly popular in theaters, and just do that instead. You'd love to play the sweet young thing, but even better, you love dark, crazy, sexy vampire stories. You can't wait to sink your teeth into a few blood-sucking scenes with one of the hot guys in the theater department. You're lying on your bed, this was going in a different direction than I expected, practicing your monologue when you're interrupted by a knock at your apartment door. You jump up and peer through the peephole to see your friends Cindy and Alyssa decked out in cute clothes and heels. Wait a minute. This is exactly the same as when you go to an interdisciplinary mixed martial arts major. So basically, Cindy has a tattoo, it's a star, and you get jealous because you also have a star birthmark, like on the back of your neck, because you're apparently really juvenile, and no one else can have a tattoo of a widely used universal symbol. Anyway, I've already seen all this stuff. So basically, this is exactly the same as the kind of setup for if you take interdisciplinary studies. So mostly, she's going to ask if we want to go out and get some shots because there's a really hot bartender at the bar. I've already done this. It leads to our death, believe it or not. So you know what? I'm going to stay home because if I go out, I feel like I'm going to blow my audition. Again, if you want to see that alternate path, feel free to watch. I believe it was Wednesday's stream. It might have been Monday's stream. It was Monday's stream, so that would be April 8th, I believe, if you want to watch the VOD. But in any case, guys, I'm sorry, you say, picking up the clothes Alyssa has thrown on your bed. I really have to work on my monologue. I'm going to get a lead part in this play if it kills me. Alyssa's shoulders slump as she starts to work into a full whine. Come on, hot bartender, alcohol, us. Well, that last part was probably implicit. You smile as you push Alyssa and Cindy out of your apartment. You guys go and have a good time. I'll go with you soon, I promise. You pour yourself a glass of wine and pick up your monologue, walking over to the stand in front of your full-length mirror, determined to knock this edition out of the park. Moments later, you hear a strange sound outside of your apartment. It sounds like an injured animal of some sort, but it's probably nothing. That's why we noted it here in the text. Maybe you should ignore it and keep practicing for your audition. Tomorrow could turn out to be the biggest day of the year for you. You know what? This is new for me, so why don't we go investigate what this sound is here? You open your door and step into the cool night air. You blink as your eyes adjust to the darkness. A guttural howl shoots chills down your spine. The animal sounds large and like it might be injured. Should you have brought a baseball bat just in case? Yes. Or, you know, probably just stayed inside, but I guess that's my choice, so I'll take all the onus for that. You venture further out into the dark and hear another sound. This time it's closer, lower, and kind of scary. It's coming from around the corner of your building, back behind the dumpster where nobody goes except the garbage man, but fuck that guy, right? You creep around the corner and see the dark silhouette of a dense cluster of bushes. As you draw near, there is a loud rustle, and something shoots out of the nearest bush right at you. You scream. Now, this seems like a red herring to me, but we'll see. A terrified cat jumps into your arms and nuzzles you, shivering. I knew it, man. You let out a long, loud laugh. You really are a chicken. No, it's a cat, you ding-dong. Oh, what a pretty kitty. You purr as you bring it over into a streetlight and check it for injuries. It's an adorable little tabby. You think it's a girl. She's super skinny and it looks like she might has hurt her paw. She needs you, and maybe, just maybe, you need her. You bring her inside, digging out a bowl for milk and towels to make her a little nest, all the while cooing at her. Oh, soft kitty, you don't have to worry about anything now. You're safe with me. We're getting like a lot of really short text here, which I appreciate. It keeps the story moving. You wake up on the couch with the television on, your new cat snuggled up against you. Blinking your eyes, you look at the clock, it's 2 a.m. You spend most of your evening trying to get your new buddy to calm down, even though enough so that you could tend to her injured paw. She was really freaked out. You hear a scratching sound at the door, realizing that's the sound that woke you. You carefully disentangle yourself from Miss Kitty Pitty Party Pants. What? You refuse to judge yourself. You should. That is a terrible, demeaning name for a rescued animal. Softly walk to the front door and peer out the peephole. Nothing. You've just turned away when you hear the scratching again. You open the front door and there's a fluffy black cat sitting on the stoop, blinking up at you. It mews cutely. You have to take it in. What else are you gonna do? It needs a home. Miss Cynthia, we said no pets explicitly in the lease that you just signed. You shoo the little thing in and set up its own bowl of milk next to Miss Kitty Pitty Party Pants bowl. I can refuse to call it that any longer. Apparently I've gotten some kind of achievement here. Over the past few months, you and your big heart have managed to take in 27 strays. You had to drop out of school and get a job so you could afford to feed yourself and all of your cats. Wow, that took a... All because you let in that single stray, you've ruined your academic career. Far be it from me to say that that was a bad decision, but I will say a lot of these resolutions in Vampire Boyfriends end with you dropping out of school. Sometimes you wonder how things could have turned out differently, but life with Miss Kitty Pitty Party Pants, Wallace, Brett Michaels, Minky Foxy Candy, Scott Bakula, Batgirl, Nathan, Louisa Bella, Eucalyptus Pepperoni, Mung Bean. Isn't that what comes out of a pregnant lady when you push down on her stomach? Kurt Vonnegut, Alexander Hamilton, Blackie, I didn't name it, Rager, Puppy, Pit Monocle, Preston Europe, Mikhail Dragon, Table, and Roxy is just too sweet. You're glad things turned out this way, and you're proud to wear the title of Crazy Cat Lady. The end! Strangelove's Vampire Boyfriends. You know what? Let's run through another Choose Your Own Adventure novel there, because we didn't have really any titillation at all. Plus, we didn't actually get to see Buttfucker's name at all. So let's put this in here again. Don't worry, we'll run through this quick. I understand that this is probably either wildly humorous or incredibly irritating, depending on which kind of Northernlion viewer you are. I love you all, but this video had to be done, I feel. So we are the Buttfucker again. We're going to skip over a lot of this early text. If you didn't catch on, this is not a normal book. I noticed that fairly early on, believe you me. Alright, so we're going to choose our major. We have to go with... Maybe we'll just... Okay, let's go the same thing we did. And we'll... what happens if we... God, okay, let's not go out. But let's not blow our audition either. Okay, the next morning, so this is like the alternate future, the sliding doors style future where we didn't go out at all, even to rescue the cat. So never mind that Miss Kitty Pitty Party Pants is almost certainly dead in the alley outside of our apartment right now. Let's keep a smile on our face and move onwards. The next morning you wake up feeling on top of the world, you hum to yourself like Snow White as you put on a pot of coffee and go through your morning routine. You're so glad you stayed home last night and that cute cat met its demise. This is exactly how you want to feel starting the first day of your final year of college, but you have to get going. You make your way across campus and enter the cool dark of campus's Blair Theater. That is one of the most awkward sentences I've had the displeasure of reading recently. You're a bit early and it looks like you're the only one there. You can see the brightly lit stage through the dark passage to the seats. Following the light, there is a movement close to you in the shadows, which makes your heart jump and begin beating literally twice as quickly. A sound of surprise escapes your lips. Some might call that a gasp, as a figure emerges, backlit by the stage lights. Oh, here we go. It's Lucas. He's got a weird tumor-shaped birthmark surrounding his left eye. He's tall, blonde, and pale with the body of a swimmer, and from what you can make out, he has nearly perfect features. 10-inch dick. He smiles a gentile smile? Or a genteel smile, I suppose, and light glints off his gorgeous, even teeth. The first thought that pops into your mind, almost as if it were placed there, is, I'm gonna marry him, easy lady. It looks like we're the first ones here, he says in an accent you can't place. Yeah, you stammer, taking a deep breath to slow your heart back to its normal pace. I didn't mean to startle you, he motions for you to follow him into the light. By the way, I don't even know what kind of accent I'm trying to emulate here. He rounds the corner, placing his backpack on a seat in the front row. You do the same, marveling at his impressive height. He must be 6'2" or 6'3", for metric people out there, that is 174 gobbledygooks tall, and his beautifully chiseled face. Are you new here this year, you ask, finally finding your tongue. He nods. I'm an exchange student from Prague. I just arrived in the country last week. Well, welcome, you mumble. Thrilled at your dumb luck in being the first to meet the HOT new boy. And you're auditioning? Now, hopefully, I'm not meaning to say that people from, the Czech Republic have bad English, but if he is going to be in the school play here, you would expect that he would have some kind of A, comprehensible accent, considering it is going to be an American play, presumably, and B, has a better grasp of the English language than one might normally expect. Oh yeah, it's one of my favorite stories, he says. The exchange student from Prague, this 21-year-old man, loves the Twilight series. I hate to break something to you, Cynthia. I guess her name's Buttfucker, I shouldn't call her Cynthia. But I think there's something you should probably know about Lucas here. You know, you'd make a great Ella. I'm Lucas, by the way. Lucas. You roll the name around in your mind. I'm buttfucker, you say, the heat rising in your cheeks. You hear voices entering the theater. A group of about 10 people spills into the light, laughing, talking loudly, and making fun of your name. Your classmate and theater rival, Angelique, walks by and says loudly to make sure everyone knows she's already met him, "Hey, Lucas." Without breaking his gaze from you, he replies to Angelique, "Hello." "Buttfucker!" a large floppy-haired boy yells out as he runs up and gives you a huge bear hug, lifting you off your feet. You squirm as he gives you a big, wet kiss on the cheek. "Hey, Johnny." "You are my future wife." He pulls back and looks at you. "You're all pink." "Where's Robert?" you say, trying to change the subject while pushing out of his arms. I kind of want to skip by some of this, actually. "I'm right here." A slight man with perfectly frosted blonde hair pops out from behind Johnny. Let's skip forward a little bit here. Okay. I hope you had a chance to read the play. It's called Dawn Breaks, and it's a brilliant adaptation of a famous book I'm sure you're all familiar with. If you prepared a monologue, good for you. If not, we have stock monologues up here on the stage. Just come on up and get one. We'll get started. Okay. So, we're going to prepare for the audition. So let's see how we do here. So we deliver a flawless performance. The audience sits in rapt attention. The director can't take her eyes off of you. What have I done? I right-clicked there. We can set our own bookmarks in the game if we wanted to and come back later, by the way. The director can't take her eyes off you. Neither can Lucas. You absolutely nailed it. Auditions end, and Olivia announces that she'll post the cast list this morning. Johnny wants to know if we're going to go get dinner. Let's tell Lucas we'd rather have dinner with him, though. So you go out on a date and have a beautiful dinner with Lucas. Not only is he pretty well read and a great dresser, you have everything in common. He's passionate about theater, music, movies, and celebrity gossip. I don't mean to be offensive, but a theater major who loves celebrity gossip, I'm starting to think he might not be that interested in you, buttfucker. Although, you know, based on the name, perhaps that is indeed what he's after. After dinner, he insists on walking you home. Before you know it, you're back at your apartment. Lucas waits patiently outside your door as you dig through your bag for your keys. Your fingers close on them and you raise your head to find Lucas closer than you realized. He is truly beautiful. If you had any inclination to kiss him, this would be the moment. Let's lean in for the kiss. All it takes is a slight movement on your part, and before you know it, you are wrapped in a passionate embrace, his lips hungrily covering yours. Ooh, it's getting hot in here. It's just me. Your heart races and your breath quickens. No one has ever kissed you like this before. He murmurs, "Buttfucker," with shocking intensity. The world spins as you push him back against your door, your arms sliding around his neck. His skin is surprisingly cold, but you have enough heat for the both of you. He pulls you closer, so close you know there's only one way you can get closer. For a moment you forget where you are, but the sharpness of your keys digging into your hand brings you back to your front porch. Keys! Continuing to kiss him fervently, you disentangle your right arm, fumbling to find the correct key. By feel, you unlock the door. As the door swings in, you whisper, "Come in." He lifts you over the frame, slamming the door behind you, never once breaking your embrace. This fans the flames within you, and you feel barely able to control yourself. Sure, you just met the guy, but damn! To let nature take its course and head straight for the bedroom, turn to 21. Yes, I don't even need to look at the other option. Oh my god, I didn't realize that it was... I thought this might be like PG-13 or like, you know, slight R, like softcore porn R, but... His kiss ignites a fire in your jeans, the likes of which you have never felt, probably chafing. How can you help yourself? Lucas carries you straight into the bedroom without breaking your embrace. Every single romance novel you've ever read, including this one, comes to mind. And you realize that they weren't unrealistic at all. They were your destiny. Somehow Lucas is at once the hunky farmhand with the strong back and rough hands, the haughty aristocratic duke who struggled to hide his incendiary passions, and the tuxedoed spy with mysterious origins, the virginal pillow-biting vampire. The virginal pillow-biting vampire. Your head swims as mutual passions rage, clothes fly in all directions, but the moment before you are to become one, Lucas pulls back. I have to tell you something. Seriously? You've dreamed about a night of passion like this since you were a little girl, and he wants to ruin it with talking since you were a little girl? Well, if he's gonna stop you now, it's probably important. You stop and listen. Yes, please. Okay. Lucas takes his own deep breath. It is important. He stares deeply into your eyes. Now, buttfucker, don't freak out. Great. What every girl wants to hear. I'm not like other guys, you know, he says very seriously. I'm not like other guys, you know. I already knew that, you respond. No, not like that. He takes your face in his icy hands. Hot. From the moment I saw you, I knew I would be devoted to you for eternity. Your heart melts a little. He's being a bit dramatic, but you like the sentiment. I think you're pretty great too, but honestly, Lucas, you don't need to woo me anymore. You're already gonna get lucky. You giggle. You move to kiss him, but his face darkens. and he becomes Wesley Snipes. Nah, he just draws back. Before we go further, you need to know something about me. Okay, I'm a vampire. Wait a minute, are you a slayer? Let's go with no. Turn to page 224. You're not sure what you thought he would say, but this is definitely not it. He rushes ahead. I'm not one of those goth kids who drinks blood. I'm a true vampire, but a good one. I can tell you all about it later, but if we're gonna have sex, I need to put in a mouth guard so I don't accidentally bite you. That's simultaneously kind of good-natured but incredibly dorky. He smiles and his perfectly even teeth aren't even anymore. He has fangs. Your heart stops and he looks at your chest as if he heard the irregularity. Well, at least you can see that he's telling the truth. He then leans over and feels around on the floor until he finds his pants, pulling a mouth guard out of his pocket. I know this sounds crazy, but I promise I'm sane and safe with this in. What do you think? You've had your share of freaky encounters with guys, but this one might just take the cake. Might take the cake. Of course, Lucas is at least 10 times hotter than any of those other guys, and you're still pretty raring to go, despite hearing that he is a supernatural being that literally drinks the blood of mortals for sustenance and lives for all eternity. Do you still want to have sex with him? Yes. We can forget the mouth guard, that'll kill us for sure, though. Lover, you got lucky. That's another achievement, I guess. What can I say? I'm racking up the gamer score here, more like lamer score. You've always thought vampires were so... Oh god, it's Northernlion's coffee maker. Just in time. You have always thought vampires were sexy and you're still pretty revved up. It's very cool that he wants to be so safe about things. What the hell? What's the worst that could happen? He could literally drink your life force. Let's do this, you say demurely. Lucas grins and pops in the mouth guard as you grab him and push him back on the bed. You're not inexperienced, and you've watched your share of porn movies, but this boy pulls out some moves you never imagined were possible, and you're pretty glad that he put it in the mouth guard. More than once he gums you with it. You're bound to have some interesting bruises tomorrow. The two of you entangle and disentangle yourselves for hours before you both collapse with exhaustion. Oh my god. I'm gonna skip over the bad stuff here. You shake the sleep saves from your head. At all? I'm sorry, you should have told me. I guess he didn't sleep. I would have set you up with the PlayStation or the Netflix or something. It's okay, I kind of liked watching you rest. Not creepy at all. It's one of the things I miss most about being human. Plus, it gave me some time to tape trash bags all over your windows. Alright. Again, seems normal. I think I might actually end it here. This is getting a little bit too domestic for me, actually. But in any case, this has been Strangelove's Vampire Boyfriends. If you want to pick this up for yourself, you know, I'm not going to judge you if this is actually what you're into. If you want to pick it up, it's $3 on Desura. It would be kind of shitty on me to kind of ridicule the game/book for comedic effect and then not give them at least a plug. So video description will have a link to the store page if you want to play this for yourself, for whatever intention you have. If you want to jerk off to this, I'm not going to be mad at you, but, you know, your parents might be a little bit disappointed. In any case, thank you guys for watching. As always, I will see you next time.